Imagine this for a moment. You wake up one morning and suddenly realize that the biggest thing holding you back is not your environment, not your past, not the people around you. It's the version of you that refuses to grow. Many people want a new life, but they are still holding on to their old mindset. They want new results, but they keep repeating old habits. Here's the truth most people avoid. Your next level requires a different version of you. You cannot carry your old thinking, your old discipline, your old excuses into the future you are praying for at some point in life. Growth demands a decision to outgrow your old self today. We're going to talk about why this is necessary, why it's uncomfortable, and how transforming into a stronger version of yourself is the key to unlocking the life you were meant to live. Every person has an old version of themselves, the version that procrastinates, the version that doubts, the version that says, I'll start tomorrow, the version that gives up when things get hard. That version of you is comfortable. It prefers familiar routines over difficult growth. It wants quick rewards instead of long-term success. But here's the problem. If you keep feeding the old version of yourself, you will keep living the same life over and over again. Same problems, same frustrations, same disappointments. Nothing changes until you change. Growth begins the moment you become honest with yourself. Ask yourself difficult questions. Am I disciplined enough for the life I want? Am I making excuses instead of progress? Am I avoiding discomfort? Because the life you dream about belongs to the version of you that has not yet been built. One of the hardest parts of growth is that it often feels like losing something. You may outgrow habits. You may outgrow environments. Sometimes you even outgrow people, and that can feel painful. But growth always requires letting go. A child must let go of childhood to become an adult. A seed must break open before it becomes a tree. Transformation always looks like destruction at first. Your comfort zone will resist it. Your old habits will fight it. Your fears will question it. But understand this, every powerful version of yourself you admire today was built by leaving an old version behind. You cannot evolve if you are constantly trying to stay the same. Real change does not happen when you try harder. It happens when you become someone different. Think about this. A person who sees themselves as lazy will struggle to stay disciplined. But a person who identifies as disciplined acts differently without forcing it. Your identity controls your behavior. If you still see yourself as the person who quits, the person who struggles, the person who always fails, then your mind will continue to produce those outcomes. But when you say, I am becoming stronger, I am becoming disciplined, I am becoming focused, your actions begin to align with that belief. Outgrowing your old self means rewriting the story you tell yourself about who you are. Many people think transformation requires massive actions, but the truth is, a new life is built from small daily upgrades, waking up earlier, reading instead of scrolling, working when you don't feel like it, keeping promises to yourself. These small actions might look insignificant, but repeated daily, they reshape your identity. Every disciplined action is a message to your mind. I am not the same person I used to be. Slowly, quietly, powerfully, you begin to outgrow the old version of you, not overnight, but through consistent effort. Remember this, greatness is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in ordinary days where you refuse to quit. One of the biggest obstacles to growth is the habit of negotiating with your old self. You say, I'll start tomorrow. Just one more break, one more excuse. But every time you negotiate with discipline, your old habits win. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on standards. Standards. Let's say, I do what needs to be done. I keep promises to myself. I show up even when I don't feel like it. The moment you raise your standards is the moment your life begins to change. Your old self was built on excuses. Your new self must be built on responsibility. Now imagine the future version of yourself, the one who stayed consistent, the one who didn't quit, the one who chose growth instead of comfort. That person is more confident, more disciplined, more focused. And the only difference between you and that person is daily choices. The future version of you is watching the decisions you make today. Every action either moves you closer to them or keeps you stuck in the past. The life you want already exists. but it belongs to the version of you who refuses to remain the same. One day, you will look back at the person you used to be, the person who doubted themselves, the person who hesitated, the person who thought growth was impossible. And you will realize something powerful. You didn't change your life overnight. You simply refused to stay the same. You chose discipline over comfort, growth over excuses, progress over fear. And step by step, you outgrew the old version of yourself. Remember this, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be better than yesterday. Because the moment you commit to growth, your future begins to change. So today, make a decision. Not tomorrow. Not next week, not today. Outgrow your old self and step into the person you were meant to become. Thanks for watching.